Have you ever noticed? You can use the smartest words, the sharpest logic, but some people still ignore you. Most people think respect comes from shouting louder and filling the room with noise. But the truth? Real power isn't in volume. It's in a quiet voice, honed to precision. Imagine this. You enter a tense meeting, a heated argument at home, or even a simple conversation with friends. You say just one sentence, and suddenly, the whole room falls silent. Not because you raised your voice, but because your words have weight, grounded in calm and self-control. And that's the difference. Some speak to be heard. The Stoic speaks to be felt. Their words don't chase attention. They command it, not through pressure, but through presence. In this video, you'll discover 5 phrases that work like a blade. Small, sharp, impossible to ignore. Each one gives you authority, not by force, but by presence. Pay special attention to phrase number 3. It's so disarming that it can flip the entire power dynamic in seconds. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Respect isn't demanded by noise or ego. It's commanded by clarity, calm, and unshakable self-mastery. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share your experience or the moment you earned real respect below. Every comment is a gift. Here, your voice matters. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It's a circle of strength. Comment, I choose respect over noise. Let's see how far calm authority can take you. Phrase 1. I understand your point, but I disagree. This isn't just a polite phrase. It's a statement of strength, soft on the surface, steel underneath. When you say, I understand your point, but I disagree, you disarm the ego before it has a chance to rise. Most people, when challenged, build walls. They defend, they attack, they stop listening. But you show respect first. You acknowledge their view, not to flatter, but to demonstrate real composure. No shouting, no drama, just presence and quiet firmness. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone pitches an idea you know won't work. Instead of biting your tongue or sparking a fight, you lean in, keep your voice steady, and say, I understand your point, but I disagree. Instantly, the room feels it. You're not a rebel. You're not an enemy. You're the anchor, calm and unmovable, respected. This is Stoicism in action. Separating emotion from judgment and standing your ground with dignity. Here's why it works. Most arguments don't fail because of facts. They fail because of ego. The moment you blurt out, that's wrong, you don't win the argument, you lose the person. But when you lead with acknowledgement, you signal safety, you create space, and that space keeps the conversation open. Even when your opinions clash, your tone doesn't have to. This phrase allows logic to take the lead while emotion remains in check. You're no longer reacting, you're steering, and people sense that. Over time, they begin to trust not only what you say, but also how you handle disagreements. The real power is this. The calmer your disagreement, the more influence you command. Anyone can blurt out, you're wrong. That's easy. But holding your ground with serenity is rare. In a loud world, quiet conviction stands out. The Stoic doesn't just win arguments. They win respect, not by dominating others, but by mastering themselves. Remember, the one who controls his voice controls the room, and the one who commands his mind commands respect without ever having to ask for it. At Stoic Daily, we believe true strength is quiet and unshakable. Try this phrase in your next conflict. What changed when you used calm over volume? Drop I lead with calm disagreement in the comments. Phrase 2. I don't find that appropriate. Sometimes the most potent line you can draw is also the simplest. I don't find that appropriate. 5 words: calm, clear, and unshaken. They can end a storm before it starts. Most people, when faced with disrespect, laugh nervously, stay silent, or even play along. But that silence isn't neutral. It quietly gives permission for the line to be crossed again. But when you look someone in the eye, hold your ground, and say it without anger or apology, you shift the entire tone of the room. No lecture, no drama, just a boundary, clear as stone. The message is simple. I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to protect what matters. Picture yourself at a dinner table. Someone drops an offensive joke, expecting you to go along. Instead, you pause, breathe, and say, I don't find that appropriate. Suddenly the room changes. Laughter fades. You're not there to be taken advantage of, and you're not selling your dignity for approval. Seneca said it best. Others will respect him who respects himself. This phrase is that principle, alive in action. It's not about moral superiority. It's about self-respect, spoken out loud. Here's the more profound logic. When you calmly hold your line, you don't just assert your own dignity. You also interrupt the usual pattern of social pressure. Most people join in or remain silent out of fear of being excluded, allowing the cycle to repeat. But your steady presence breaks that cycle. You show it's possible to say no without aggression. You lead by posture, not protest. And you invite others to honor themselves as well. Your voice, steady but unwavering, signals that respect is the standard here. Every boundary drawn this way becomes a silent invitation for others to rise to the same level. The real impact isn't just on you. When you draw a firm line, you give silent permission for others to do the same. Every group has people who feel uncomfortable but stay quiet. Your boundary becomes their shield too. That's why dignity, to the Stoics, was like invisible armor, unforced, undeniable, never defensive, but always present. Try this. The next time someone crosses a line, makes a disrespectful joke, a rude comment, or expects you to go along, don't think or argue. Stand tall, look them in the eye, and say it steady. I don't think that's appropriate. Not say how the dynamic changes not just for you, but for everyone watching. Ask yourself, what does it feel like to respect yourself openly? How does your confidence shift when you stand for your values, instead of waiting for someone else to do it? At Stoic Daily, we believe boundaries spoken with calm are stronger than any defense. Try this phrase this week and let us know what changed when you claimed your dignity out loud. Phrase 3. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. Some conversations stop being conversations. They become battlegrounds of ego where every word grows sharper and no one is truly heard. Most people fall into a trap. They either shout back, raising the temperature, or they retreat and feel small. But the Stoic way is to break the cycle. When voices rise, or you're interrupted, don't match aggression and don't disappear. Pause, breathe, and calmly say, let's talk when we can do so respectfully. That one sentence does more than silence a room. It reclaims the rules. You no longer play by the script of chaos. You write your own, grounded in self-respect. The tone shifts. Eyes turn. The one who remains calm becomes the one in control. Picture it. A coworker cuts you off, voice sharp, trying to win the argument. You don't flinch. You don't fight. You stay still. Then you say it, steady and calm. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. The room goes quiet. The power flips, not with force, but with grounded presence. This isn't about avoiding hard conversations or walking away in fear. It's about showing true strength and refusing to accept disrespect as the price for being heard. Epictetus put it best. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your response. In that moment, your response becomes a mirror. It reflects not anger, but discipline, not defensiveness, but composure. Each time you use this phrase, you raise the standard. You send a message that respect is not optional. It is the entry point for honest dialogue. Try this. The next time you're drawn into a heated debate or someone raises their voice, don't rush to defend or withdraw. Say it calmly, "Let's talk," when we can do so respectfully. Then pause. Let the silence do its work. Notice how the mood changes, not just in them, but in you as well. Ask yourself how your conversations would shift if you made respect non-negotiable. How much energy would you save if you stopped trading dignity for approval? At Stoic Daily, we believe composure wins where volume never will. Drop in the comments, "I make respect the rule." How did this phrase shift your next heated moment? Phrase 4. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every conversation deserves your energy. I'd prefer not to continue. This conversation is a phrase of quiet strength, short, calm, and absolute. It doesn't escalate. It doesn't justify. It simply ends the cycle. Most people get trapped in endless debates, raising their voices and burning hours defending their pride or being baited into chaos, hoping to win what is essentially unwinnable. The Stoic chooses differently. You pause, breathe, and say at once, "I'd prefer not to continue this conversation." No apology, no anger. Just a line drawn with self-respect. A line that says, "I don't owe you my peace just because you want my attention." Picture the moment. Someone keeps circling the same argument, poking, provoking, trying to pull you into their chaos. You feel the trap tightening. Every answer is bait for another pointless round. Instead of being sucked in, you smile, steady your tone, and let the phrase end it. You don't walk away out of weakness. You step away out of strength. Because true power isn't how long you can argue. It's how quickly you can protect your peace, knowing when to let go of what no longer serves you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." By refusing to mirror their anger or let them set the terms, you choose dignity over drama. You value your time, your mind, your spirit more than their noise. Here's the more profound lesson. Walking away doesn't mean you've lost. It means you've recognized the futility of specific battles and exercised the power to end what is unproductive. Every time you assert this right, you make it clear that your energy is your own to direct, not something for others to drain. Try this. The next time a debate turns toxic or someone keeps trying to provoke you, pause, feel the urge to react, and then choose calm. Say it once, without apology. "I'd prefer not to continue this conversation." Let it land. Let the silence speak louder than any comeback. Ask, what changes when you stop playing by their rules? How much more clarity do you gain when you step back instead of stepping in? At Stoic Daily, we believe the most powerful word is the one that ends the noise. Drop in the comments, "I choose dignity over drama." Where will you protect your peace this week? Phrase 5. That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. In a world where everyone has something to say about your life, how you should work, love, or think, real strength is holding your own ground without disrespect. In the age of constant opinions, calm disagreement is a rare and powerful asset. Most people, when pressured, fall into two traps. They either argue endlessly, burning energy trying to convince, or they go silent and pretend to agree to avoid conflict. The Stoic chooses another path. You listen, you acknowledge, and then calmly state your truth. That's your opinion. And I respect it, but I don't share it. This phrase is balance in action. Firm, not hostile. Polite, not submissive. It tells the world, I can honor your right to speak without surrendering my right to think. It breaks the illusion that agreement is necessary for respect to exist. Picture the moment. A colleague pushes their method, and a family member insists you follow their beliefs. Instead of locking horns or nodding along, you take a breath, stand tall, and say it. Suddenly, the dynamic changes. You refuse to be manipulated or drawn into a tug of war, yet you leave the bridge of respect intact. Your calm honesty becomes the reset button in the room. Seneca warned, "Being a slave to the opinions of others is the worst of prisons." This phrase is your key to freedom. It is a statement of independence, a reminder that respecting someone's right to their view never means abandoning your own. Here's what most don't realize. Disagreement without anger is one of the rarest and most respected forms of communication. You're not defending, you're not submitting, you're simply declaring, "I know who I am, and I can stand beside you without becoming you." Try this. The next time someone tries to press their beliefs onto you at work or at home, don't get pulled into debate or hide behind silence. Meet their gaze, steady your tone, and say, "That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it." Notice the effect. No war, no surrender, just clear self-respect. Ask yourself, how would your life change if you stopped needing agreement to stand firm? What new freedom opens up when you give respect without giving yourself away? At Stoic Daily, we believe real freedom is living your truth with dignity. Drop in the comments, "I respect others but won't abandon myself." Where will you hold your ground with grace this week? Why these phrases make you stronger. Every phrase in this video is more than just a clever comeback. Used right, they reshape not only how others treat you, but how you see your own worth. They are not just lines, they are declarations, each one reinforcing your internal compass. Notice something. Each phrase shares three qualities. First, they separate emotion from reaction. You don't fight fire with fire, you respond with clarity instead of impulse. That pause between stimulus and response is where self-mastery begins. Second, they establish boundaries. You silently teach others how to treat you, without drama or explanation. You don't need to argue. Your presence sets the standard. Third, they project self-respect. Self-respect always comes before receiving respect from others. It is not about pride, it is about alignment. Self-respect is the starting line. External respect is the reward. When you use these phrases, you are not just managing conversations, you are also establishing a sense of trust. You are practicing Stoic philosophy in motion. You embody the ancient belief that true power lies in the mastery of oneself, not the domination of others. And here is the paradox. The less you try to force respect, the more people give it to you. Real influence grows in calmness, not conflict. In clarity, not control. So, how do you apply this in the real world? At work, most people stay quiet or react too fast in heated meetings. But when you replace passive silence with calm, firm words, something shifts. Your boss sees reliability, your colleagues sense steadiness, and you begin to trust your own voice more. In relationships, these phrases draw a line with grace, protecting both love and self-respect. I value us, but I also value myself. That is not rejection, that is maturity. On social media, where debate never ends, a simple, "I respect your view, but I don't share it," ends the fight before it begins. You walk away lighter, unentangled. With strangers, whether it is a rude comment, a pushy salesperson, or someone testing your patience, calm firmness flips the script. You show the world, "You do not control me, I control myself." That presence is rare and felt. So the next time the moment calls for it, remember, your calm words shape the room more than volume ever could. Every time you use these phrases, You are training not just your tongue, but your mind and your presence. And that is why these words, spoken with conviction and composure, build quiet power inside you and around you. At Stoic Daily, we believe dignity is practiced in dialogue, and calm is a muscle you train. Which phrase are you ready to make your own? Share it below. Speak less, command more. Life is built from 1,000 small battles, moments when respect is quietly lost or earned. These phrases aren't just clever words, they're armor. Each time you use them, you protect your peace, guard your dignity, and train your mind to stay unshaken. You don't need to shout to be heard. You only need to speak from a place of calm conviction. Speak to them with intention. Carry them into your day. Let your quiet firmness do the work louder voices never could. Remember, respect is never forced. It's earned moment by moment through character and quiet strength. When you speak with serenity and firmness, the world listens and reflects that to you. People measure their tone around you. Your presence shapes the room, not because you shout, but because you embody your values in stillness. This week, try it. Pick one phrase and use it in a real conversation. Then come back and leave your pledge in the comments. I choose respect. Every story you share becomes a signal for someone else to stand taller, speak softer, and live stronger. If you found value here, subscribe and join us at Stoic Daily, where philosophy becomes daily practice and every voice matters. This is more than a channel. It's a circle of strength.
Stoic Philosophy Daily.